This is Uche Njoku, Sneaker Principal, and I'd like to talk to you about this word that's often confused, and the word is curriculum. And I'm probably not going to do it justice, so I'm going to speak from the perspective of a school principal and what a curriculum means to me. Too often, curriculum is confused with being textbooks, is confused with being philosophies, is confused with being many things. But the one thing that I know that curriculum is the foundation. When I go into a classroom, I often ask for a lesson plan, because the lesson plan is the guide that the teachers use in the class to move the kids forward through the instruction that is defined by pedagogy, their teaching. So what are you teaching for the day? What are the outcomes you want from the teaching? So these are very basic things that I think we all can understand. But however, the lesson plan is not a standalone item. It comes from somewhere, and where it comes from is usually what they call a unit plan, or a unit. And that unit is literally a unit of content from which has been broken down into digestible chunks, in topics that students and teachers can do that exchange of teaching and learning in, right? And from that unit plans where you get the lesson plans, which are for the most part, the smallest chunks of that topic. So for example, if we're talking about plants, you can do a lesson plan on plants, but plants is such a diverse topic, within science, within living environment or biology. So we're going to you probably wouldn't do a lesson on plants. You might do a lesson on photosynthesis, how plants take sunlight to produce their own food. Okay, so that'll be a lesson. But now the unit itself could be, how plants, survive. That could be the unit, or the unit itself can be also plants, depending on how broad the subject that's being taught is. Then, if we're going to go with photosynthesis being a lesson plan, they can be coming out of a unit about plants. Then now plants can be part of a unit within biology, living organisms. But now that unit on plants will be part of the curriculum, discovering particular topics within the realm of living. Of living biology, of living organisms, living environment, right? So why am I saying all of this? Often, people forget that the curriculum itself is pretty much the breakdown of what's being covered within a subject. Please push back if what I'm saying is completely wrong, but the thing is, I'm speaking from the term of keeping it as simple as possible. And what does a curriculum look like? It can be as complex as identifying all the nuances and all the topics and everything that's going to be covered within a course or a subject. Or it could also be kind of like a summary that we're going to talk about this first, then we're going to go to this, and this is how this ties in. This is where you're going to assess the student to make sure they understand this topic before you can go to the next topic. It can be more like a curriculum map. It says these are the things we're going to cover. It could also be a scope and sequence. This is the order in which things have to go. But any subject you're teaching has to have a curriculum, something that is kind of like the map of where we're going. Why are we studying this or where we're going? We can't just say we're going to learn about biology. What does that mean? Are we talking about human biology? Are we talking about biology in general? Are we talking about plants? Are we talking about microorganisms? Are we talking about, animal kingdoms? Different levels of just life forms on Earth? It's such a huge topic that you can just say, we're going to study biology. But if you say we're going to do general biology, we're going to cover overarching topics, that makes sense. Remember, you can't, I know the fire truck going by, trust me, I'm safe. You can't just say, I am teaching a lesson without it coming out of a unit. And that unit has to come out of a curriculum. Very, very important. Yes, This is a very, very simple breakdown of this, but it's something that we have forgotten. And I'm coming across more and more teachers who are forgetting that, or maybe it's just not being realized because maybe we're not talking about it enough. Lesson plan is essential to what's happening during the day, but it's guided by the unit plan and it's guided by the curriculum. If you're teaching anything anywhere, you have to have a curriculum, And if you don't have a curriculum, you should create one. So at least you know, at least you have a guide map to where you're going. All right, guys, this is Uche Njoku, Senior Principal, and we should do this again. All right, peace.